Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome along to the wilds of Suffolk. I'm out here yet again doing what I do, walking along in beautiful locations such as this, giving you my thoughts and opinions on things that are happening in the world and the public consciousness. If it's your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing today. If you're a returning subscriber, or 1,264 I think there are of you today, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here, one and all. I still can't believe how many people join me for these walks. So I'm privileged to have so many people join me. So thank you, one and all. So for people who have been keeping up with what I've been doing on this channel and across social media in general, you would have seen that I have been quiet as of recently. I managed to get a community guidelines strike on my YouTube channel, which is the reason I'm doing this video today, directed at YouTube staff and YouTube creators. Hello, puppy. Hello. Of course I'll say hello. It's okay. Hello. It's okay. Hey, don't leave. It's all right. Yes, I'm doing this video today for YouTube staff, YouTube creators, and obviously the audience, the viewing audience, based on this YouTube strike that I just recently had on my channel. So I wanted to address that today and what it means, what I think it means, and just give a sort of a, I don't want to say warning, because that's not the kind of attitude I want to bring over this, but bring something to the attention of the people that would do what they've done, and just make them, try and give them some insight into the future of into the present of what's happening in the world, and to the future of the outcome of their decisions going along with stupidity as they've done. So let's get it started. So as we've seen in this tumultuous world that we're in at the moment, where everything seems to be in turmoil, and obviously we're all going to get nuked at any moment, there's a lot of things that are happening, okay? Misinformation, disinformation, and it's all deliberate. It's all so no one knows exactly what the truth is anymore. It's all to keep you in a state of fear and panic and worry and doubt. Now, we've seen with, elections going on all around the world. We had the Italian election that everyone, especially in the sort of upper echelons of the people who rule the world, weren't happy about, because she's an ultra right-wing nationalist, extremist, obviously, because she cares about her country. Then we had other elections going on in different parts of the world. Ukraine, where they had a referenda in a few different referendum, or referenda is the plural of that, I believe. In Ukraine, where we were told that they were voted unanimously to join Russia, much as Crimea did. We've had these elections across the world that everyone is openly allowed to question, especially politicians. They're allowed to question it and say, well, we don't recognize the referenda that happened in Ukraine because it's a gunpoint, or whatever nonsense they keep on saying about these. We don't. And what was the head of the EU, I think it was saying, well, if the right person doesn't get elected in Italy, in the Italian elections, then we have tools for that. Then we had, actually there wasn't an election here in the UK. There was no election, right? But we have a new leader because the party picked the party, who we all agree with, of course, because they're wrecking the economy and we all want that party to be there. But let's face it, party politics, it's all bullshit. They're all criminals. So it doesn't really matter who we've got running the show. I mean, the woman that we have, Liz Truss, is a moron. I mean, I think they've put her into place while this collapse happens, so it's not under the good people's watch, and then they can just say to Liz about Liz, well, we need to get rid of her because she's no good at her job, right? The new budget they did. But the point I'm trying to get at here is elections happening around the world, everyone's commenting, especially politicians, and the average person is questioning, but But, it's a big but, I like big buts, I've said that before, cannot lie. But if you dare, and I'm talking about dare, if you dare to question the American election, where Uncle Joe, the pedo, or the alleged pedo, took power with 81 million completely legitimate votes, totally legitimate election, if you dare to question that, then it results in a strike. Now, let's get into the sort of the background of this whole thing, so I can give you the reason why I'm doing this today. It's not just because, look, I'm amazed with the content that I've been sharing and with what I've been talking about, that it took this long to get a strike, to tell you the truth. But just to give some meat on the bones, I did a video 2 years ago when Joe Biden was elected, okay, talking about the American election 2 years ago. Now, since I did that video, the rules on YouTube have changed. They changed the rules, okay? So from then on, now if you remember back as well, you know, about the same time, about 3 years ago now, coming up to 3 years with COVID, if you dared to question anything to do with the safety, the efficacy of the jibbies, you know, the things that people get stuck into them, if you dared to question that, there was rules against that. You couldn't say that. Anything that went against the WHO guidelines, you couldn't say that either. So they changed the rules. Now, with the election, they changed the rules and said, it's the most clean election of all time, of course, because you can't question that. But if you do question it, then we'll ban you. We'll give you a strike. Now, my video was 2 years old. 2 years old. So YouTube, in their brilliance, went back 2 years to find fault in a video I did, deleted the video, and then gave me a strike on my channel because I dared to question the American election. That was what the video was about. They had to go back 2 years to find a video that breached their new guidelines. So they changed the rules, and then they had to go retroactively backwards to go and find where I'd broken the rules 2 years ago. Where the rule didn't exist then. Okay? Not just like, hey, you broke the rules, we're taking the video down, or when they're doing the checks at the beginning to say this video doesn't fit our guidelines. No. Change the rules, go back 2 years to find a video that broke the rules. Now, on the face of this, it's bad enough that, you know, the nations of the world that question each other's elections, well, that election in that country doesn't count. Well, we can say that. You know, we can say the elections in Syria, oh, they don't count. Or the elections in Iraq, they don't count. We can say that in Iran, Afghanistan, anywhere in the world, Italy, Ukraine, anywhere in the world you can question the election. Anywhere. And everyone frequently does, but not in America. You cannot question that election. You're not allowed to. So this is directed at YouTube in particular. Right? YouTube, Google, they're all the same. Facebook, Twitter. Do you really think, really honestly believe, honestly, ask yourself this question. Do you honestly believe that YouTube, Google, Facebook, and Twitter were set up by private people? Do you? Or do you think that they're government agencies collecting data and collating data, you know, DARPA, you know, those kind of agencies? Do you think? What do you think? Individuals? They're private companies, Chris. They're privately owned and they can do whatever they like, right? Now, many years ago when I first came to the UK, I was living in London, and you used to be able to go to Hyde Park, and they had this place called Speaker's Corner, okay? Now at Speaker's Corner, you roll up and you've got your soapbox and you stand up there and people gather around and you talk, people listen, they debated with people that were on their soapbox giving their opinion on different things. You know, and it was a public forum. It was the public square where people could come and debate ideas and put their ideas out into the public and have them debated live in person. Now, what places like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, they are there now, the public square. They are where people go to share their ideas, share their thoughts and their criticisms or whatever it is. But the problem is that these platforms have been weaponized against us. So they decide what the truth is. They decide. Big tech companies who are not private companies that are made by individuals. They are intelligence tools made by the likes of DARPA. Okay, you don't have to believe me. I don't expect anyone to believe a word I say. Go and look for yourself. What is Google called? Alphabet. True, Alphabet. That's the parent company of Google, Alphabet. Now, all the Alphabet agencies you've got, CIA, MI5, FBI, MI6, what else have we got? Mossad. You know, you've got all these agencies, these spy agencies from around the world, intelligence agencies, whatever you want to call them. I mean, intelligence, really? Really? So these agencies all across the world, they call them alphabet agencies because it's all letters of the alphabet. ABC, you know, D, E, F. I'm not going to do the whole alphabet. I'm pretty sure you know it. If you know the song A, B, C, D, now do the alphabet backwards. Now, these agencies, they have made these platforms. If you think Mark Zuckerberg wrote the code for Facebook, you're delusional. Okay? Facebook came from a program called LifeLog that was introduced by DARPA. It was shut down the same day that Facebook came into existence. Oh no, but Facebook was made by Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, actually, no. What did the movie say? That it was the two brothers, the Winklevoss twins, that originally designed Facebook. And then Mark Zuckerberg took it over, right? That's what the movie said, because movies are 100% not propaganda. They're real. They're a real story, based on a true story. Okay. So we're told that the Winklevoss made it up. Winklevoss twins, who are now billionaires, who are, what do they do? Oh, that's right. They're invested in Bitcoin. Lots of Bitcoin. Where did Bitcoin come from again? Where did Bitcoin come from? Yeah, it was Satoshi. There was Satoshi Nakamoto, the person that no one knows except Homeland Security, all of Wall Street, you know. But you don't. I don't. Why is that? Who made up Bitcoin? Who made up Ethereum? That wasn't Wall Street. JP Morgan and those boys done. Definitely wasn't them. Definitely wasn't Wall Street reacting to what was happening in the digital money arena. Wall Street definitely didn't get a part of that, to become part of that with Ethereum. Now, let's get back on subject here. So YouTube, the people who work at YouTube, you coders or whatever you want to call yourself who work at YouTube, think about something very carefully, okay? Do you see what is happening in the world? I'm talking directly to you YouTube coders or whoever at YouTube is stupid enough to have to listen to this garbage. Look at what's happening in the world. Look around you at the people questioning everything. My channel's growing despite your best efforts to slow me down or to stop me or to purge me or whatever you want to do with me. My channel's still growing, as is hundreds of other channels that dare to question anything. They're still growing in the face of your censorship, blatant censorship. Oh no, we're going to change the rules. Oh no, video you did 2 years ago when the rules were different, that now goes against our community guidelines. Fucking ridiculous. So, YouTube employees, or the bots, or whoever's listening to this, okay? Think about your future, okay? You're working for a company that openly openly takes away people's viewpoints and taking away the essence of what made YouTube great. Gave people a voice, gave people the ability to go and speak to other people anywhere in the world, and allow the free sharing of ideas. Now you can have a child porn channel on YouTube. You can have ISIS has a channel where they're cutting people's heads off, but you can't question the American election. Now, how does your future look if you're an employee of YouTube? And the world changes. The world changes, and the same lunatics that are running the show currently are not running the show. And your viewpoints, your socialist, communist viewpoints, where everybody's equal, except they're not, right? When the world changes, and it is changing, what are your employment prospects going to look like when you leave a platform that is so controlled, manipulated, communistic, and fascist? What do your employment options look like? You're going to go for a job and someone says, oh, you worked at YouTube during that period, did you? Sorry, we'll call you, except they won't. The fascism is when governments and private corporations join together to control people. Now, I'll give you an example of what I mean, okay? So the government says, look, the government is bound by what they can and can't do. In America, it's bound by the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, those kind of things. Here in the UK, it's the Magna Carta. There's certain things that the government can't do, okay? So if the government wants to give out an edict and says, you're not allowed to do or say this, then they're going to be challenged in court, because they can't take away your right to speak freely, because that's protected, right? Your right to free speech. As long as there are certain things that you can't do, you know, you can't yell out fire in a movie theatre, that kind of thing, that's protected by law. And now they're bringing in these other stupid things like hate speech. I mean, who decides what's hateful? You know, who decides? What's hateful to me is going to be different to what's hateful to you, right? But we're going to try and bring that into law as well. Now, the government is bound by these things, but what they do is they say to corporations, this is the rules that you need to have everyone, you know, go along with. Now, if anybody dares says anything to you, oh, well, we're a private corporation, we can do whatever we want. That's what we hear, right? So it's not, oh, well, it's not the government doing it, even though that we now know the governments have been actively contacting these social media companies and saying, you need to do this, you need to ban this kind of speech, like daring to question the American election. And no one can do anything because it's a private company. And they're protected in America, they're protected by Article 230, I think it is, the Telecommunications Act, something like that. I can't remember the exact, I think it's 230. Because they're a private corporation, they're not bound the same way as other companies are. But if they're not a private corporation, if they originally come from the government and they're controlled by the government, then are they private corporations, and do those laws apply? I mean, I'm no lawyer. I didn't even finish high school. Now, I'm recording this video in hopes that people will question this narrative that's being passed around. The big thing is here, while you might agree with the rules as they stand, with the rules as they've been made to have people all agree with the same viewpoint, because you shouldn't be able to question elections except the ones that they tell you can. You might agree with the viewpoints. You might agree with some of the rules that they're putting in place to say, hey, yeah, okay, I agree with that. What happens when you don't agree, but you're on the receiving end of a ban yourself? If they can retroactively change the rules, and then something that you did 2 years ago now falls afoul of those new rules, then how safe is your channel? How safe is your content? And here's to the content creators. A lot of people, like my channel, I go for a walk in the forest. I come out here, I talk mostly to myself with a phone in front of my face, and the people who listen to it or share it or do whatever they want to do with it. This kind of content is, you know, I go and look at other information and I bring it forward to you to decide. I put another viewpoint into the air so people can have a different viewpoint. It's the mixture of ideas that helps us to move forward as a society. Not we all have to adhere to the same ideas, right? So my content, by comparison to a lot of other people's, is pretty, it's me talking my opinion. But the content that's being promoted, and these channels with 10, 20 million people that follow their channel, where they're producing content where they're sitting in front of a computer and they're reacting to a TikTok video, or a try not to laugh, or a reaction to a reaction video. So it's like literally you're watching someone watch somebody else do something and then they're trying not to laugh, or they're reacting. And those are the kind of channels that YouTube is promoting. Now, these people with 10, 20 million subscribers, think about this, right? If they can retroactively change the rules and all your content is now not safe, what content creator, like, I've got plenty of stuff that I want to do. I really do. I've got plenty of ideas for TV shows and things that I'd like to do on social media. On YouTube, I had an idea that I wanted to do a channel on YouTube to do with cooking, but I don't want to now. Why would I want to create content on a platform that can retroactively change the rules and then go, oh, well, sorry, your channel's gone now? What content creator in their right mind would do that? And all the people out there with 20 million, 10 million subscribers, you're in the same boat, because at any point they can point at your channel and say, sorry, now you fall afoul of the rules and we have to get rid of all your content. So YouTube is cutting their own throats. They're promoting shit content. It's garbage. Garbage content. I mean, you can call my content garbage as well. Fine, whatever, don't mind. But promoting just garbage, it just rots your brain, doesn't make you think. It's just sitting there like zombified in front of your screen, not questioning anything, just sitting there watching somebody else try not to react to a video they're watching on TikTok. What are all the ads on YouTube now? TikTok ads. So you have another platform that's Chinese communist owned, by the way, advertising on the biggest platform on the internet, YouTube. What does that say to you? And now they're trying to get this subscription service for YouTube up. I mean, who wants to pay when you're constantly taking away content? There's other channels out there, there's other platforms like Rumble and BitChute, Odyssey, that are coming into the fore and really gaining a lot of followers and a lot of traction within the market because of what YouTube is doing. YouTube, it has such promise, but when you have lunatics running the asylum, then there's no hope for it. Who's going to produce more content, more innovation and creative content that is going to, really influence people? Creativity is our life force as people. Our creative outpouring and our creative juices and everything that we bring into this world changes it. But you're stifling creativity with these stupid, archaic, nonsense rules that you change, and then you move the goalposts again and you go, oh, well, sorry, now you fall afoul of the rules. Now, this isn't about me. This isn't about, a video that I made. I mean, it's 2 years old. I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous. It's not about me, but it proves the point that YouTube is actively trying to stifle dissent or opposing opinions to what they think. And they think they're going to hold market share. So I will, I've set up a Rumble channel. I've set up a BitChute channel. It's very difficult to upload to them, which is why I'm so disappointed with what YouTube is doing. I mean, utterly gutted. After, 2 years on the platform and having a an amazing audience that tunes in to watch these things and discusses and debates these points with me. Like I say, you're not going to agree with everything I say, but we have honest and open discussions and debates about what I say and why I believe the things that I believe. And that's the way it should be. But YouTube is actively trying to suppress that. And that should trouble us all. It's not just YouTube, it's Google. And then it's this whole circle jerk with the media. Well, the New York Times reported this. Well, since when has the New York Times been anything other than a trash bag propaganda machine? It's not. No one trusts the media. No one trusts the media, but yet they're being put forward as we're the fact checkers. Fact checkers, my ass. The fact checker, you've got the politicians are quoting the media is quoting the politicians. They're all liars. There's no journalism anymore. And it's all just this whole garbage rhetoric and nonsense lies and propaganda they keep on pushing on people to have you all think the same way. We all have to think the same way. Become part of the Borg. Resistance is futile. Remember that. So that's my message today, is it's just YouTube, people working there, continue on the path you're continuing on. You won't have a future. No one will employ you. No one will trust you, and all the good content creators are going to move to different platforms. So I'll probably be banned off here. I'll put some links down in the description of the Rumble and the BitChute channel. Should everything go sideways, my Telegram channel is down below as well. For people who want to follow me there, if everything goes wrong here on this platform, then that's where I'll announce what I'm doing next. I've got plenty of content I want to create and new ideas and creative ideas I want to come up with, but I'm not going to put them on YouTube for fear of it being taken away. Why would I put my hard work, knowledge, skill set, everything I'm going to put into these new ideas, money, why would I do that for a platform that can take away everything at a moment's notice for some arbitrary decision based on a 2-year-old video where they changed the rules and made it so that video didn't comply anymore? Why would I do that? Now, if this video doesn't get me banned, because I did mention the American election again, who knows? Because they don't even tell you how you're stepping outside the bounds. But if this video gets me banned, well, if this one doesn't, probably the next one will. I've recorded it a couple of weeks ago before my suspension started. And that will be posted very, very soon as well. Probably today or tomorrow. That one is a must watch. If it's going to be taken down, I would assume that it will be pretty quick. So if you can watch it as soon as possible. Because right now, I don't give a fuck anymore. Now I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. YouTube takes it down, well, too bad. And I'll just move over to a different platform. So I'll leave it up to you what you do. But look after yourself. Look after each other. Get out into the world. You can change the world with the way that you think, the way that you talk, and the way that you interact with each other. So do that. We can change the world together. All right, have a wonderful day. Look after yourself. And I look forward to speaking to you real soon. Take care. Ciao for now.